Internet. Today I'm gonna do my March wrap-up and April to be read, so stay tuned if you'd like to see. So in March I kind of had a reading spree in the beginning of the month. So in the beginning, towards probably the first week of March, I just read Backfire everything. And so I have like 4 books that I read within like a week and a half period, which is crazy for me. This book I started toward the end of February, to be honest, but I finished the majority of it in March. And that's Across the Universe by Beth Revis. This was great, and I highly recommend this. I have the sequel, but I have to read that a little bit later because there's a lot more in front of it on my to-read list. I believe it's a trilogy. I'm just excited to see what happens because it's kind of like a mystery in a way, so it was really interesting. The next book I read is The Selection by Kiera. This was great. And I should mention the TV show. I'm not too thrilled about it because I saw the casting for a bunch of the people on it and I'm not excited. My copy of Requiem came one day early, and so on March 4th I started this and I finished it by March 6th. Just for kind of like a brief how I felt about it. It was kind of slow, but I liked the resolution, so. After I finished Requiem, I picked up the copy of Anna and the French Kiss, and this is something I've been meaning to get to because I heard a ton of people raving over this, and I finally picked it up and I joined the rave. Is there a fandom over this book? Because I will happily join in. This is a definite recommendation, and so if you like contemporary novels, go get this. It is so good. I just hit myself in the face with it. Now after I read Anna and the French Kiss, I kind of had a dry spell of reading, so it went like a week and a half without touching anything, and finally I was like, gotta do something, I'll get a short book, and therefore I got The Maze Runner. And again, a series I was meaning to start, and this was actually a lot different than how I'd imagined. So I'd known that it was about a guy who was trapped in a maze, but I didn't realize, like, he went up into like a community full of people. I thought he was just literally trapped in a maze. Like, what do I do? So it was a really big surprise, and it was really good too, so I'm gonna have to pick up the rest of the series so I can read that possibly this summer. A little bit after that I started Safe Haven, and I told myself I would read this before the movie came out, and that was the middle of February, so I'm a bit late, and I'm not even sure if the movie's out in theaters anymore, but if it is, I'm gonna go see it, or I'll just buy it on DVD, whatever. Back to the book. I think this was pretty good. It was good for a Nicholas Sparks novel because, I don't know if you know, but I'm not a fan of Nicholas Sparks. I only read them because the movies are out. Really predictable if you ask me. But all in all, usually I'm bored by Nicholas Sparks novels, but this one kept me going, so I think a bit of an accomplishment for something of his genre. My goal of April is to read books that I bought a while ago instead of choosing off the top of the ones I've already bought recently. And there's a good pile of books that fit that category to choose from. And so, first one would be Dear John. This is like random because the movie and stuff. The movie's not even new. Yeah, this one's a bit shorter than some of his novels, so I think maybe this will be kind of easy to pick up. However, the description seems really generic. Next is something I need to really catch up on. It's the second book in the Matched series, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the first book because it kind of annoyed me, and I don't think I should get into that, but I picked this up because I really just wanted to finish the trilogy, even though not my favorite. I couldn't stand the like awkward love triangle in the first one, so I hope that evens out. If I'm looking for something more contemporary, I will be looking for The Truth About Forever. Wow, messed that one up. Wither, and I keep seeing the third book. Is the third book a new release? Because I am seeing it everywhere. Like every time I go to Barnes & Noble, it's on every single rack, and I need to start this because apparently it's a good series, and I had a friend in real life tell me, in real life, can we stop saying in real life? We're not from the internet. I've had a friend tell me that this was one of his favorite books, so I hope this will be pretty triumphantly satisfactory. Okay, this next one I tried to read but then easily gave up, and I think I need to try it again, otherwise I'll never get through it. It's Feed, and this is very futuristic. It's one of those futuristic novels where they start out kind of like, what's going on? I don't think it says it's a National Book Award finalist, so it must not be that bad if you keep going, but I'll definitely have to retry with this. I don't know if you can tell, but I've had a bookmark in there about 20 pages in, and then I just stopped because I couldn't do it anymore. I keep telling myself to read this one, and I just always forget or surpass it or something. The Future of Us by J. Asher and Carolyn Mackler. I don't hear much about this, but I'm a huge fan of J. Asher because 13 Reasons Why was really good. And I need to read this, but I just can't find time, and I look at it and I'm like, I'll read that later. And I feel like I'm betraying it. I'm sorry. Lastly is another book like Feed that I started but just could not fathom my energy to get through it. It's gone, and I know people love this series, and I just can't. Okay, first of all, it's really big, and so that by itself just encourages me to not want to touch it. This is just, I read the first couple chapters and I just couldn't keep going because I just got so annoyed and bored, and I'll definitely have to try again on this one because I hear from tons of Tumblr people like, yes, it's so good. Now that there's a pile of books on my floor, I think I should go now. So thank you for watching. I have a couple things of news, but I think it's going to be too long to squeeze into this video, so I'll find time to let you know about things happening in my life. And I'm sorry videos are getting farther and farther in between, but life is happening, so it's getting a bit hectic. No more excuses from me. I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Should I include a clip of me turning off the camera? Seems like routine. Let's do it.